What's up, homies? Today we're gonna be talking about the new game mode Checkmate, the huge dub from Bungie and their PvP strike team that they released about a week ago. I've had a week of playtime with it, and I sunk an unholy amount of hours into this, quite honestly. So many hours that I'm kind of ashamed to admit how much I've been playing this game mode. But it is so fun. It is genuinely the most fun I've had in D2 PvP since, I think, 30th anniversary, which was the last time I felt like the meta was just right, or fun enough to not get angry at every single play session. I do want to talk about this game mode. I'm letting y'all know this right off the dome. I'm free balling. You know I don't write no script. Let's get into it. Checkmate control. I'm gonna talk about the game mode without talking about my likes and dislikes first. I'm just talking about what's different. So for starters, weapons are tuned. Well, actually, let me start with this. You don't spawn with special ammo. You do not spawn with special ammo. And the only way to get special ammo is by filling up this bar on the left side of your screen. As you can see now, special ammo transmat. How do you fill this up? By capturing zones, by hurting people or assisting in kills, and by killing people. Literally playing the game, it was the way it was intended to play. So by playing the OBJ and by killing people, you get special ammo. Another thing is Guardians have 220 HP. That is really good. Weapons have been shifted, or TTKs haven't really been shifted headshot wise, but body shot wise, incentivizing players to hit headshots. Abilities have been, the regeneration has been reduced by like 50%, and super regeneration has been reduced by like 40%. Leaning more on primary weapon usage more than anything. Now I get into the likes. You don't spawn with special. I'm gonna start with the special ammo thing. You do not spawn with special, which means I'm not gonna die to some grassless individual using Antius wards with their conditional finality. I just got that, by the way. But I'm not gonna die to that within the first 10 seconds of the round. It's great. Another thing is I get to slide lanes in confidence, knowing that there's not some sniper hard scoping that's 100% gonna hit me through flinch. This is a really good thing. I get to use my primary and show off my skills with a hand cannon, or show off my skills with an SM or whatever weapon I'm using at the time. I get to show that off. All of the engagements at first, while abilities may be thrown at the beginning of the game, it's usually just weapon play right at the start of the game. And that is a huge love of mine. The other thing I love is how you have to work for your special. You cap zones, you get kills, you assist kills, you get special ammo. It makes you feel rewarded for getting those bricks to drop in your, inventory. And it makes special ammo feel a little bit more scarce. So it makes you think like this has to be used in a potent manner. Meaning special ammo feels more special. It doesn't feel like your primary. There are some games, base game, where I genuinely don't know what primary some guy's using. In this variation of the game in Checkmate, I mean, I can play around knowing that this guy has X primary. I can play around his range, and it's just beneficial for me all the way. The second thing I want to talk about is abilities. Abilities are not out of hand here. I feel like in base game, everyone throws that damn blue dildo on the wall and it fucks me like hard every single time, and I die to either grenade or jolt or a procs knockout, which I die to that next. It's just dumb. But in this game mode, they throw their lightning aid, they don't have that back within 30 seconds. So you have much more options to laning. Like so many more options into laning. Or so many more options into taking gunfights, knowing that they don't have some BS ability waiting for you in their back pocket. Or that you're not going to get backdoored by, like, I don't know, Child of Ogas or something, because they don't have a rift up every single gunfight. It's just a lot more gunplay. Another thing that I do love is the super regeneration delay. Like, you don't have a bubble every single gunfight. I swear. I feel, especially in trials, guys get bubbles by like round 3. And the worst part is, you know that they're going to get the bubble fast, but you can't play aggressive because he has an overshield to throw up every single gunfight. So you can't play stupid aggressive because the guy is 40 more HP than you. Which is another thing here. This guy can't throw up an overshield every single gunfight. Or they don't have restoration aid every single gunfight. Your bullets feel like they're doing damage and gunfights feel meaningful. Special ammo as well feels meaningful because you're not getting slapped by that in the mouth every single gunfight. I know I talked about special, but I felt like I had to bring that up again. Another thing that's really good is Guardians having 220 HP. So the things about having 220 HP is the weapons are balanced in a way where headshot TTKs pretty much are the same for most weapons, and I'll get into that a little bit more when I start talking about my dislikes. But for most weapons, for right now, headshot ratios are about the same to kill. However, body shots are different. I think body shots do less damage, and if they don't do less damage, it's just you have more health, so they feel like they do less damage. The good thing about this is it incentivizes skill. Hit those headies. If you're not hitting those headies, you can't aim at the head. This game mode is not for you. You need to go back. Or actually, it may be for you, because it really does force you to get good, get better at the game, and start hitting headshots to, you know, kill people more efficiently. Another thing is team shotting. This game mode, by right, is very team shot heavy, but I could say the same thing about the current iteration of Control we have in the base game now, like in the current game. The thing about team shotting, while I do agree at some point of time, learning when and where to team shot with your team is a skill. It is a great skill to learn, and it's a great skill to navigate, whether if you're in a great position to, for one, not die, but also to be the best benefit for your team. With that being said, in the current version of Control we have now, it feels way too frequent where I feel like I slide into a lane because I saw a blip on my radar, and it's just 3 dudes holding each other hip to hip, hand to hand, swinging their fat dicks, just like shitting on me. I can't do anything. Like, and in this game mode, you have more health, so it makes me feel like I have more options. I know I'm rambling here, but that's how I feel. I feel like I have more options when I slide into a lane, realize that I fucked up, and I can slide back out without getting eviscerated in 0.3 seconds. Because, let's be honest, everybody's not hitting their headshots. Me having a little bit more health allows me to make those decisions, to have more sense of urgency, or give me more room for error. In the current version of the game, especially when it comes to these fast TTK weapons paired with these specials that are very oppressive, there's almost no margin for error, which is why you see so many Titans using their class ability playing behind a shield, not peeking until their enemy, the op, makes an error. If you're not getting beamed up by anti-air wars with an SMG, you're either getting blasted by conditional finality from 7 meters, 8, 9 meters away because it freezes and kills you, or you're getting destroyed by a sniper down mid lane, even though you pumped like 33,000 bullets into his head, but for some reason he just don't take no flinch. It's just punishing. And so unless you play absolutely perfect and spam the abilities to the best of your ability, you lose. In this current version of Checkmate, you have more urgency and more room for error, meaning you can slide a lane, realize that it was a mistake, and get out of there. Or meaning that you can maybe take one with you this time instead of insta dying or getting insta melted. You don't have to worry about sliding a lane thinking there's a sniper rifle looking down the lane, or you don't have to slide a lane worrying about there's an anti-air with a fusion or a conditional waiting for you on the other side. It's really good, and it allows players to play more effectively. Another thing that I'm particularly proud of when it comes to this game mode is being able to reveal what the problems with the meta are. And both this game mode and base game, there are a lot of like just bull crap, BS, oppressive abilities, and this game mode does a good job of revealing those. I'm going to talk about them later in the video because that's kind of gonna lead me into the next point, which is dislikes. But yeah, this game mode does a really good job of exposing really bad meta, and in a way it lets me play somewhat around it, but I'm just glad that this will be an eye-opener for Bungie, and I hope they really do listen from this game mode. I'm not going to take too long on these because there's not many of them, but the first dislike I have is special ammo, not being able to know when other people have special, and sometimes not even knowing when I have special. I think that this could be a little bit more clear and precise towards the player, because there's a lot of times where I just don't know if someone has special, and for a game mode that tries to, you know, include competitiveness in its roots, I feel like that could be a really competitive change. Just some signal of knowing when an enemy has special, because that bottom left hand corner can get cluttered really fast, and oftentimes I just miss when someone loaded. Oftentimes I miss when I loaded. A better way of knowing when I have special 2 available would be nice. Number 2, there are some really oppressive abilities, which is the point I was making earlier. The game exposes it. Restoration and overshields, even though they aren't as frequent, when they are up and there's really no special ammo to combat it, which is usually early game, it's just broken. Like, you really can't kill the people on the other side of the overshield, and you're not going to kill anyone with restoration because, well, they have more HP, and TTKs are already pushing you to be completely precise. This guy only has to hit 3 headshots. You have to hit like 4 or 5 with your hand cannon. And that's for both restoration and overshields. So once again, even though they aren't frequent, they are just oppressive. And this translates to the current game we have now. They are just broken and there's no counterplay to them, which is why Bubble and Whale have always been some of the best options in PvP. Lastly, I do want to talk about the weapons. I'm not going to stay on this too long because Bungie already really talked about it in their TWAP. They came out today or Thursday. I don't know when I'm uploading this. But yeah, bows, hand cannons, fighting lion, devil's ruin, Vex mythic class are all really out of band, and they kind of need touching on. And this is something that, especially with bows in base game and fighting lion, I guess fighting lion gets a pass, but bows in base game needs to get touched on. That's pretty much all I have. Oh yeah, heavy and the round or the game length, those need to be changed. All in all, huge dub from Bungie, and I'm gonna continue to play this. Y'all already know what to do. Run them likes up, run them comments up. Let me know how you are enjoying Checkmate Control, and appreciate you for 300 subs. I'm gonna talk about it much more in the next video. I'll catch y'all later. Peace.